mentorship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light south winds and an afternoon high around 86. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with calm winds and a low around 56. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds and an afternoon high around 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Probably the best locker room entertainment ever. You know, listening to Chris.
Have you seen the Will Compton's videos before? How does that compare?
What does he say at the end of that thing? I like that part. What does he say?
He uses your go big.
Oh, that's
red.
what he uses. My go big red. Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's not your Go Big Red.
Yeah,
How is that Vershawn's Go Big Red? That's been a chant long before
That's
Vershawn.
my go big red. It's mine.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer.
Blitz is on. Taylor picks it up. Fires. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion.
Taylor again, wide open.
And first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
Here we are. It is Wednesday. It is another week and another edition of Weekly Rap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor, enjoying some Mary Ellen's, as anybody does that ever tries Mary Ellen's. Absolutely delicious. Thanks to Mary Ellen's once again for providing us with some lunch. Steve, coming off a victory, it's probably a better week than coming off a loss. How's your week going?
You know, my week was awesome, dude. They even played my Getting Tipsy song in the stadium.
They did.
Did you
They
hear
finally
that?
did. I didn't go, but
I'm like, man, do I have good taste? Man, do I have good taste? I tell you. No, man, I tell you. Wow, what do you think about that W? It was a W. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. I almost kind of dozed off, but for the second
you're not
half,
a defensive guy.
yeah, no. I'm an offensive guy, man. We want to score some points. I appreciate the defense, though. So my wife and I ventured up into the new Huskers Players Lounge to check that out. And then we moseyed on up to Coach Osborne's suite. And so the game was actually very entertaining watching the football game with him the second half. So that's what made my day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I can imagine. How often do you get a chance to watch a game with Coach Osborne? That sounds like a pretty cool experience.
Probably about once a year, maybe. But I haven't done it in quite some time. And I think he upgraded to a suite because last time he kind of had a little overflow suite, but now he had his own personal suite, you know. So it was the quietest box I've ever been in.
Yeah.
There's not too much celebrating and excitement. Yeah.
Is there a lot of folks around up there?
Well, just his immediate family.
Oh, okay.
You know, and a guest, a guest or two.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really tame suite.
They don't celebrate as much with the. Well, I guess there weren't too many.
No, I don't even think they'd eat in that suite. Coach Osborne, Coach just was nibbling on some hot tamales. I'm like, Coach, what are you doing eating that stuff? Come on, put something better, more nutritious in your body.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's going, well, Steve, you know you got to live.
Yeah. What's it? You get to catch up to him? You said once a year, but how often do you get to run into him just in general?
Oh, I see Coach Osborne too much.
Yeah.
He's out and about all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I told you I almost ran me over at the gas station a couple of weeks ago with his fishing poles he couldn't see.
Yeah.
I think it was on the way to one of the Hall of Fame functions or something last time I bumped into him in the general public.
And he had his he had his fishing poles.
So he had
hanging
all
out?
these fishing poles. He drives this Ford, whatever, Explorer. He's a very
Yeah.
low kid. And I'm like, who's this dude like driving in between the gas pumps? it was like Coach Osborne. You see his fishing poles in the back, hitting him in the back of the head and everything. I'm like, come on, Coach.
Do you ever go fishing with him?
No.
No.
I'll pass on that deal.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to drink. I mean, Terrell should go fishing with him. I'm
Yeah.
gonna drink. I don't have the patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go fishing at all?
I did when I was a kid, but not much anymore.
Not too much into
I
it.
used to fish at Yankee Hill at the pond. I used to take my kids, and we used to walk down there and fish in the pond, and we always caught something. So I'm a country club fisherman.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's what I like about fishing is catching. That's what they call it. They call it fishing. They call it.
We catch some panfish,
Yeah.
on some trout. Not trout. What do you call those other? I forget what they call those things. But
Yeah. Yeah, well, fair enough. But Nebraska did get the win. So 5-1 with the bye week coming up. We all get to kind of breathe a sigh of
5-1. That
relief.
sounds good, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does sound good.
Why does it not feel as good though? It sounds good, but for some reason it doesn't feel as good.
Oh boy, 6-0.
You're like waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of it. I think that was part of the experience of the Rutgers game was, you did win 14-7, but there were opportunities for Rutgers, specifically a dropped touchdown pass that was wide open that would, who knows where the game looks like from there.
It was unfortunate. It wasn't like how good Nebraska was. It was how bad Rutgers or how disappointing the effort was. I mean, It was just not very good football to watch. I mean, wide open guys, the balls bouncing off their helmets.
Yeah.
I mean, which, it helped our cause.
Yeah.
But, and Rutgers, they just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they had an off day or not. I don't know if the Huskers had an off day or not. They've been kind of lackluster with halves and everything. And obviously Dylan wasn't his best game. And, but defensively we did some good things, but we got a lot of help from them as well. So, but chalk it up, you got the win.
Yeah.
But the game was pretty much a dud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what I think a lot of people would be intrigued, and I'm sure that you've kind of been through this, especially early on. This was the first game that Dylan kind of looked like a freshman quarterback, didn't have his best game out there. What do you think contributed to that? And do you think it's cause for concern?
It's weird that people were saying that. It's like, well, he didn't look like a freshman, and I've gotten to the point now where I don't know, although he is the freshman, but because of circumstances, he's had a lot of reps, a lot of games. They're very well prepared. He's not your average freshman. First of all, any freshman coming into collegiate football, they're not your average freshman anymore. But yeah, he had an off day. But what's been kind of unnerving or unsettling is that, I still can't get a gauge on how good this football team is. It seems like when we play with anyone that has a pulse, we either lose or we don't look as good, excluding the first half of the Colorado football game. So I think that's what's really in the back of my mind is how good is this football club? And when are we going to find out? When are we truly going to be tested? Maybe after this bye week against Indiana, I think that may be more reflective on where we are. But I just don't get a good gauge on where we are right now.
Well, and there's obviously plenty of time to see that. The schedule is going to get a lot more difficult after the bye week. But it is interesting, too, because I was thinking about this morning because, when you think of a 9 or 10 win team, sometimes you think of the highlights and what they look, but every team kind of goes through their struggles. If we think of Nebraska's last 2 9-win teams in 2016 and 2014, one of them lost 62-3 and the other one gave up 400 yards rushing to one guy. So, even though, even if you are a 9-win team, if you are a good team, I think most people would consider that a pretty good team. That doesn't make you a complete team or a championship team.
I look at it this way. I'm looking at improvement with the rule administration. And if they get to 8 wins, which I look at the schedule, is very possible. Very possible. They will beat some legitimate teams that carry some weight. I think that's a huge step forward. I feel really good about the program. I feel good about the program now, but that would be the kind of jump that you want to see this team make. And I think that's very realistic. I went through the schedule because they can beat Indiana. And I think Indiana is a more respected team than Rutgers. And then, you got Wisconsin and those guys coming up. So if they can upset a team or two like that, Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio State, probably a loss, right? Even the UCLA should be a win. Now it's looking like USC is very, very winnable, although it's out there. So they can get to 8 wins. And if they do that, I would think that would be a very successful season for the Huskers, regardless of what they do in the bowl game. So it will be interesting to see how we do. Now, if we go out there and don't perform very well in those games, then, then that's still out there. But where are we?
Yeah.
But it's still there. It's still there. And I will feel much better once we play these other opponents.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because a lot of the problems, I guess, have been is winning, wrapping up the win. You're in all these games. You're losing all these one-possession games. Nebraska wins a one-possession game now this past week.
I wouldn't count
but
that.
It didn't feel like, it didn't feel like, they had to, fight it out and win a close game. It was more, they kind of let Rutgers back into it after having a 2-score lead, which made it a one-possession game. And so what I was thinking of asking you is kind of like leading up to last season, they were in a somewhat similar situation. We'll see what it looks like. Hopefully they're not in the exact same situation at 5-3, because that'll mean they'll have lost to Indiana and Ohio State, and hopefully they get a win there. But last year they were 5-3, knocking on the door of going to a bowl game, and lost out and lost all those close games. What do you think could be the difference between this team and that team and closing out and finally, I know the goal is not just to get to a bowl, but it's pretty important here. Yeah,
that's the thing, Bach. I don't know if we haven't closed out a game. Like Rutgers they just gave us that game. It's not like we forced our will upon them and got the victory, right? They just and defense stood up. They made some stops. They got some plays, but what Rutgers did, they just kind of handed the win to us. So I didn't feel like we won the football game. We closed it out, and we're going to have to do that against Indiana. But you never know, I wish I had more for you, man. I really do.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding, and we're going to see what the Huskers do. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see us face some really good opponents and play hard football and see how we stand up.
Yeah, I think, and that's got to be part of the fun too. I know you want to win every week, but really, I think that's going to be a big test here, not just with Indiana, but Ohio State in the next week. Is that's usually your measuring stick game, what they call it. You get to play one of the top teams in the country. How far are you away from that? And even in a loss, Nebraska could make their fan base feel considerably better if you could just keep that one close. Or Indiana probably not quite that because they're undefeated. But at least even for me, if they played Indiana, who I think is probably on par with the top 25, that's kind of what this Rutgers thing was.
What are they ranked?
They're 18th. But there are folks that think they're a bit of a fluke because they haven't played the greatest schedule and they're 6-0.
See, and that's where Rutgers was. They came in undefeated, which looked good on paper, but that did not look like a 4-0 team.
Yeah,
not a Division I 4-0 team.
But again, that's what I go back to. Those again, the last 2 9-win teams at Nebraska, I believe maybe finished in the top 25 or right in the outskirts of the top 25, where Nebraska's kind of at right now. And they weren't perfect. They had some pretty bad performances, and that can happen to a pretty solid team. That's, and I don't think Nebraska is expected to be at that level to where, at one point you want to get to where you guys were in the 80s, and certainly where they were in the 90s, but they're one of the top teams in the country.
We're a long, long ways away from that. This team is still finding themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've been trying to find themselves for quite some time here. I think they have a better grasp on that now with the traction and Raiola and what he brings to the table as far as what they can build to the future, along with some other key players that have kind of grown and shown something too. So, I'm excited for him. I really am. I'm excited to see him go up against a good foe and give a fight and really win the game. Really win the game like they did the first half against Colorado. I don't know what that was. I really don't. I'm trying to go back, like what the dominoes just kind of fell our way, the way things went with that game. A lot of momentum and where Colorado was. And you see what Colorado's doing right now. They've had some miracle wins, but still they're doing all right. So you have to give Nebraska kudos for that. But Indiana, I think, will be more of a test, and it's going to be on the road. It's off of a bye week too, so the Huskers can get healthy, which they're pretty much healthy anyway. But they can look at. Another thing is that teams have a lot of film on our offense now on what we're doing. We've kind of been stagnant, with some things as far as I thought the first couple of games, our play calling and all that stuff was on par with moving the pocket, play action, running the football. But then that was against a lesser foe. So now we're facing, teams that have more depth, more speed, more athleticism, and more on part of what we're doing. So give us a more true test of where we are. Like I've seen Raiola run the football. Like Coach Osborne was making a reference to that. He would like to see, a little bit more mobility out of Dylan. But he showed me the signs that he can run. It's just a matter of will he do it? So we're going to see what happens in the next few weeks.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. As always, if you want to get in touch with the show, if you want to ask Steve a question, don't let me hog the mic. Text in 402-464-5685. Starter Harmon Jewelers text line. We do have a couple of thoughts from Nate Turner. That Nate Turner off of Facebook. He said, Steven, what's up, brother?
What's up, my man?
We haven't played anybody. That's why it doesn't feel good. Weak schedule, but good for a young team. There's Nate's thoughts.
Nate the skate knows. That's the player, man. He was something, dude.
Absolutely.
He was a guy that Nebraska. He was big. He's big enough to be a running back. He was big enough to be a wide receiver, and he was before his time. I mean, as far as where Nebraska, he would have been a great tight end. I mean, God, he could have done a lot of. He had a good career, but man, the guy was extremely talented. Good dude.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the call, Nate.
Yeah. We always appreciate he chiming in from show to show once in a while. Good to hear from Nate. All right, let's take a quick break here on Weekly Wrap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. Plenty more Husker football to talk. Might sneak in a little golf and real estate as we usually do as well. Coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
The McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Liverpool topped Crystal Palace 1-0 to stay atop the EPL standings at 6-1. Arsenal beat Southampton 3-1, and then Man City topped Fulham 3-2. On Sunday, Aston Villa tied Man United 0 apiece, while Chelsea tied Nottingham Forest 1 apiece. The final game on Sunday was Brighton against Tottenham, and Brighton won 3-2. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back with you from the 93.7 The Ticket studios. This is the weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. I'm Jake Bachman, sitting in alongside him. And a lot of people could say, maybe from this past week, that the MVP of that game might have just been the punter.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah. Either that or numbnuts from Rutgers. Can you believe that? Dude? Like, how could you not feel the ball?
Yeah.
And let it just go over your head and just put your team in a horrible field position. I mean, just stuff like that, man. But yeah, let's not talk about the other special teams.
Yeah, that's it's amazing because this, your punter Brian Buschini was Special Teams Player of the Week while having 2 of his punts blocked. That's got to be the first time in history, I would think.
That's crazy. How could that happen?
It doesn't make much sense.
Exactly.
And he got folded like a pretzel, man. That first one.
Oh man,
I felt bad for him. I was surprised they even brought him back out.
I know. That's just If it's not one thing, it's another, man.
Yeah.
It's like if you're driving the ball well, you're not putting or tripping very well. You know? All I know is that I'm looking at this 1890 collector's shirt of yours.
Yeah,
and I'm like, where's my gear, Matt Davidson? I'm finding all these 1890 Pro V1s on the Firethorn golf course, and I saw Matt he was golfing this week. I was like, dude, so I'm like, hey, I like those 1890 balls. Can I get a couple? Oh, yeah, you can go to 1890.com.
Oh, there you go.
I'm like, are you serious? Is that how you treat a former Husker, man? I got to go buy my own 1890 collective balls? You can't give me a sleeve? Come on, Matt Davidson. Give your former Husker some love.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit of on-air calling out might work for Dave. So we'll see. Maybe he'll bring a few in next time he stops in once in a while to visit with early break. So, but it's kind of cool. 1890. Have you noticed the branding on the field?
I love everything about it, man. If that's the way you should incorporate into the program. We're all for it. That's the way it should be. I think they're doing a great job as far as marketing, advertising. Just don't forget about the old All-American number 9. Give me some golf balls. I'll help you out.
There's a few golf balls to make him happy. Right?
I've donated my fair share to the Huskers. I've even given some of my own personal money to the Huskers.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I contribute.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
I love this shirt. I like to wear it all the time.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I do. I like the 1890.
Yeah,
I do. I like it. It's kind of before I was like, okay, what does that mean? 1890. I looked it up and everything. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Makes some sense.
Yeah, it is probably confusing to an outsider that's walking in like, what happened there? But it's the beginning of the Nebraska football team is what it was. So makes a little bit of sense there. I wanted to ask you, because I brought up the punter. Did you ever have a relationship with your punters? Friendship?
No.
Did you know them? Did you say hi? Did
No.
you say anything to him walking off the field?
I knew Chris Drennan, who was, no, I shouldn't say that. Croker. I became more friends with Croker after the season, just golfing and everything. But no, we didn't. I feel terrible now, dude. We didn't really do too much.
Yeah.
But Chris Drennan came in with my recruiting class, and he was a hot shot kicker, place kicker, and he was from California. And he had won the lottery. He won some lottery then. So he came here and had a nice brand new 300.
He won the lottery.
Yeah, he did. He won some type of huge lottery when he was coming from California when he came here. But he was in our recruiting class, and he was a good kicker. He was a lefty at that. So we talked a little bit. We hung out a little bit, not very much. But otherwise, those guys they live in their own separate world.
Yeah.
I was just talking about this the other day because we were talking about special teams. And dude, I was so oblivious to special teams. We played Arizona State my junior year out there, and Clete Blakeman was my backup. And it was a tough game with them, the Sun Devils. And we had a great fake punt, not punt, but fake PAT or field goal attempt. And I had no idea that they even practiced that throughout the whole week. All I knew was that they called me back to go on the field when we got the first down.
Oh.
That's so oblivious.
You didn't know the play call was coming.
I didn't even know we even had such a play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the bench like doing something else.
Yeah.
And then they called. Coach didn't even tell me, hey, Steve, we're going to do a fake PAT or a fake field goal attempt.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was coming. I was totally caught by surprise with that. I was like, that's how much I knew about special teams before I started backing up Doug Flutie, and then I was all over it.
Yeah.
But they live in their own little world.
When you did start holding, did you develop a friendship with your kicker?
Yeah, we hung out all the time.
Yeah,
we were best friends. We went out to dinner and everything.
Yeah.
We went out to dinner, and Mark McLaughlin was his name. His wife Tanya, and we went out to dinner, and we're still friends to this day.
Yeah,
it was weird. I was like, they're normal people, and Mark wasn't weird. He was just normal, and so I was like, okay, they're not as weird as what we make them out to be.
Yeah,
they're just regular football players. They're just place kickers and punters.
Yeah, just usually off doing something by themselves.
So I gained so much more respect. Not that I didn't have respect for them, because you let them, you enter their world, and you let them come in your world.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, and it can be frustrating. I mean, like this year, the special teams has been very frustrating for Nebraska. The fact that they're 5-1 with however many,
it's been like that for quite some time.
Field goal, and it's been really bad. Yeah. Over the years. So. And this might be as bad as it gets. I mean, you can argue.
It's like anything else, man. Like we had the fumble issue last year. It just compounds itself. It just keeps building and building until someone just finally comes out of somewhere and just break it. And then once it gets into your head, it gets in everything, and it gets isolated, and people start looking at it and, picking it to pieces and stuff. So, yeah.
Well, you did mention too that one time that Coach Osborne didn't tell you it was coming. It kind of reminded me and made me want to ask you. Was there ever a 4th and short, 4th and were you trying to argue with Coach Tom to play? How often did that work? To go for it.
Every now and then it did.
Yeah.
Every now and then it did.
then
Yeah.
you
Every
could.
now and then it did.
you
Yeah. But
could.
I was standing on the field thinking like, and you see, you're caught up in a. I remember it being like 4th and 2.
Yeah.
Let's go for it, And you're standing out there, and then you see the guys running out, and it's like, okay, it's like that. But every now and then, I would win that battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how often that works.
Well, he would actually call me and say, "What do you like?" I was like, 32 options,
Huh.
31 counter boot. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. He called the play, and I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
Get this vote of confidence, but you better get the first down.
Yeah. Otherwise, your argument next time is not
You're
going to work
done.
so
Yeah,
well.
you're done. Yeah. Yeah. But man, when you're playing, you're in the moment. You think you want to get it. Yeah. But those decisions need to be made by the people that, you got to take the emotion out.
Yeah, and certainly, their jobs are on the line. Certainly, your job is on the line too during a game. But I suppose I try to go with the money route, but now kids are making money too. So it is what it is there. What did you think of Nebraska's running game here with the 14-7 win?
Did we have one?
It wasn't much of one.
No.
And I think that was the story, is that Emmett Johnson. They've kind of been rotating backs. This was finally his opportunity. People had been calling for it. He had been playing well, and then maybe just didn't take advantage of it, or at least, in the very least, did not have much to show for it here.
Like I said earlier in the broadcast, the play calling is not has not really enlightened me the last couple of games. Before we were making a conscious effort of doing it, everything looked better. It flowed. Now it's kind of sporadic. It's kind of sporadic with some things, and there's no continuity with it. We keep rotating these backs, by committee. What's his name?
Dowdell.
Dowdell. I think he was ready to emerge to be the guy, and he looks good. But a running back, you got to feed him 20, 25 times regularly so he can get a flow of the game, and the yards just keep building. So there's pros and cons of that.
Yeah.
But to me, the attempt, the play calling hasn't really been as consistent as I would like the past couple of weeks. Why is that? I don't know. But I'm not. I would like to see more consistency and more of an effort to really stay with it.
Based on the halfway,
especially when it comes against better teams.
Oh yeah,
it's easy to do that against less quality teams, but you got to stick with it. Yeah,
we're at the halfway point in the season. What would you say the strength of the offense is?
Oh man, that's a good question.
It is.
That's a really good question. I would probably say I kind of like our receivers.
Mm.
I think I like our receivers. I think we have some chance to have some playmakers there. Make some attempts to stretch the field vertically, which we were doing earlier, but we had all the PI calls if Dylan gets the ball out there. I would say that's probably been the most surprising. Not surprising, but I like that. I think we got some good quality guys that can do some things, some playmakers, and they've been getting them involved in the game plan.
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good. Actually, I was feeling pretty good that I thought our offensive line was a little better, but we're playing lesser caliber teams. Rayola had a lot of time to throw the football, go through his progressions. We're rushing the football. So I thought we had made quite a bit of improvement there. And then that kind of has
dissipated.
Dissipated over the last, couple of games. Rayola looked really clean the first couple of games, but had to mix up the last couple of games, the last game or two. But I would say overall it's been the receiving core. I would say. I think there's something there.
Well, and you mentioned play calling, so maybe you've already somewhat answered this, but do you think that they're getting basically, do you think Coach Satterfield's getting everything he can out of this offense?
I don't think so. I think there's more there.
Yeah.
I think we have enough tools, enough skill, enough talent that we can be more consistent in what we're doing. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But a lot of that too has to do with the growth of Rayola,
mm-hmm.
How much he can handle. But I think he's shown that he can handle quite a bit. But that's when I say it's so difficult, when you're playing teams that's not on par with you. I think that's the most difficult thing, So that's the biggest thing for me. That's why it's hard to get a good gauge on this team.
Well, and I think too, it's good. Obviously, again, it's fun to complain about a 5-1 team.
Well, I can still complain about a 5-1 team. It's all about who you play, man.
Right.
You're going to get exposed.
Yeah.
It's like a golfer. If you're playing these easy golf courses and you're shooting, even par and stuff, and you go play a Division I course and you're 15, 20 over par, you're still penalizing because you're hitting the rough or you're hitting the crap. You can't find your ball. Where if you hit some other courses that are easier and the rough is low cut and you can find your ball and hit it, it's not as near as penal.
Yeah.
So you get a false sense of security.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. At this point in the season, you get this bye week to head up into you play better teams moving forward. Is that, I don't think it's caught up to them yet, but I think Nebraska's offense hasn't made the strides that they need to.
I think it's caught up to them. The reason why I say that is because when you're playing against teams that are on par with you, your level of focus is going to be 100% better, right? And you're going to play harder every play. You're going to play for 4 quarters. That's why I think you see the lackluster quarters that we haven't put 4 quarters together. I think this team to date has probably played to the level of their competition for the most part. Teams that they were far better than athletically and physically, they should have blown them out, right? But we were kind of keeping them in the game and just doing enough to win the games and stuff. Maybe just a tad more. So I think it is telling. And that's why I don't like too soft of a schedule. In the end, it will bite you in the butt. I really do believe that. And because it's tough when you're at a standard where you're playing great teams and you're focused and you play these lesser teams, but they still go out and they produce, they execute. They still put up they have the big plays, they put up the points. So they're mentally focused, and that's what they do, right? This team or these teams in the past have not yet been there.
Yeah.
And so I think that is telling, even with play calling, with that you get a little conservative, you tighten up, you start bagging, just not putting things together and setting up things, like that. So I think all that stuff is telling. And then when you play, and this is what Coach Osborne and I talked about, just kind of watching the football game. We always say, better football team, they catch that pass. Better football team, they make that play. It's a totally different ball game. Totally different ball game.
Yeah.
Rutgers could have made that a very, very interesting ball game. They made a play or two here or there that were not difficult plays to make. They were in position to make the play, and didn't do it. just didn't do it. But it was there. The route was there. The call was there. The pass was there, but they just didn't make the play. A good football team would make that play. So that's what we're going to see in the next couple of weeks, and teams that have better skilled players.
Yeah.
We won't get away with the things that we've gotten away with.
All right, let's take a quick break here. This is Weekly Wrap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We'll be back after the break.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
you can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Question for you. Would you rather pay $150 a month or $15 a month to work out with the same high-quality gym equipment? At Planet Fitness, you can get top-tier equipment for $15 a month. Plus, save $28 or more when you join now during our Strong Choice sale. Our weights weigh the same, you just don't pay the same. Enjoy free fitness training and 24-hour access at most clubs, all in the judgment-free zone. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. See club for details.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back for our final segment here on Weekly Rap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We've been talking a lot of Husker football so far. Let's continue to do so. In fact, let's project a little bit.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, let's have some fun with it.
Let's have some fun.
All right. So Nebraska at the bye week. We're halfway through the season, which is to be celebrated. Also a little bit sad. More football. There's plenty of football left to enjoy. I just get sad when it goes by. But at 5-1, they need one more win for bowl eligibility. But obviously, they're looking for more than that. Let's see where we have them at this point.
Let's go. Okay.
All right.
Who wants to go first? You tell me.
I can go first.
I don't want you to follow my lead. I want you to be true to yourself.
I'll
what
pick
you
first.
really think. We'll take a business approach to it. Put our emotions aside.
That's right.
Our emotions and our Husker love aside, and look at it from a practical, logistically, business perspective of where we think we'll end up.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to do that because it's very tough.
Keep in mind, a lot of these games are on the road too.
I know. I'm going to try to be emotionless.
All the factors that play in.
Okay.
All right.
5-1.
After a bye week, and Indiana gets a bye week too. They have at Indiana. Indiana currently ranked number 18, probably maybe top 15 by the time this game tips off. I personally think that when Indiana is favored by 3.5, I think I'd have to favor Indiana as well.
I'm going with Indiana. I say we lose that game.
Yeah.
So we're 5-2.
5-2. at Ohio State. We saw a weekend of upsets last week. Crazy upsets left and right.
I don't think we're going to upset them.
You're not necessarily going. I can't pick that either.
Okay,
At this
I got a loss there. 5-3.
5-3.
Okay.
Very important game with UCLA coming to town. UCLA right now is 1-5. They're struggling. That should be a win on Nebraska's calendar.
Let's take our emotions out.
I am.
Don't say should or whatever. What do you think will happen?
I think that they.
I got it really.
I think that they'll win that game. It is a little bit scary. I like that it's at home. Kind of reminds me of last year's Michigan State game. They were 5-3 going into that game. Michigan State was, their interim head coach hadn't won a game yet. I mean, they had like an 8-game Big Ten losing streak. Everything on paper said Nebraska should win it, and Michigan State won. But no, I'll go with Nebraska here. Bowl eligibility.
So do I. So we're 6-3. We're bowl eligible.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I don't know what bowl that will qualify for. All right, so I'm with you on that. I'm taking all the emotion out.
There we go.
6-3.
Okay. 6-3. Then you travel to the Coliseum at USC. USC.
We lose.
Just lost. USC just lost.
I know, but
2 losses now.
I don't think we'll beat SC. I just don't. Okay,
Yeah?
so we're what? 6-4?
6-4.
What did you think? You're favoring the Huskers?
I'm not favoring the Huskers. I'm saying the Huskers are right now in the rankings. If you do the others,
what do you think?
I'm just letting you know USC's 26, the rest is 27.
Put all that aside.
So it's up there.
Who do you think will win the game? Don't go by
I'll
rankings. Don't go by
with
your
USC.
heart.
Yeah, I'll go with USC. But I think that's a closer game than we at one time
We're not being loyal to the Huskers. We're just looking at from a practicality standpoint.
Yeah.
So what are we?
6-4.
6-4.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Then you have your home game against Wisconsin.
Oh God.
Here it comes. Haven't beat them since 2012.
After watching Wisconsin and Huskers and where we're going, I say we lose that game.
Okay.
Oh, so what is that?
6-5.
God, that's tough. I'm trying to take my emotions out.
Yeah. Well, that's where
And
we're
how
at.
I feel about Wisconsin and what I've seen from the Huskers today. Huskers have not shown me enough to say they beat Wisconsin.
Fair enough.
So what is that?
That's 6-5.
So what did you have though? What did you say?
This is like you take the emotions, take all of it out of it.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's hard for me to take out 12
have to.
years of beatdowns from Wisconsin and having my heart ripped out every time we play them. So
Come on.
I'll go with Nebraska to get the win. I don't feel great about it.
You gave in?
Just because I feel pretty good to get the USC game. I think maybe they could win one of those.
You think?
Yeah.
You think?
I'll give them 7. I'll give them 7
Okay,
at
so
that
you're
point.
7. Where am I? 6-4. You're 7.
You're yeah.
I'm 6-4. You're 7-3.
Well, you're 6-5.
Oh, I'm 6-5.
Yeah,
I was hard.
I'm 7-4. But now we're at Iowa. At Iowa, you're 6-4.
At Iowa.
Or I guess you're 6-5 with this game.
Iowa's terrible.
You think they get the Iowa win?
Iowa's terrible. Yeah, we beat Iowa again.
There you go, 7-5. See, I think that's a tougher game. Another game, much like Wisconsin. Probably going to come down to the.
I like a quarterback. I think our offense is better. Oh God! So
their running game is way better.
Yeah,
their defense. I mean, that's going to be a close game.
I think Mickey Joseph went in there and beat him.
Yeah,
I think we can do that.
Fair enough.
So
I think we dropped that one. That
you
makes,
think we dropped? So
yeah.
where am I? Where am I at?
That puts us both at 7-5. Just different ways to get there.
Okay. All right. So if that were to come true, that's the end of the season, right?
Yeah. Then you get a bowl game.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
I feel like that's a pretty big step, especially if you can get a win, against the USC, Wisconsin, Iowa, whichever games that might be. I think I feel pretty good. Obviously, you wouldn't have a whole lot of momentum having dropped, 4 of your last 6, whatever it is.
Okay. 7-5. I told my magic cutoff was 8. I feel better at 8. 7-5. I guess I could stomach that.
Put some stakes on that bowl game. Maybe they can get 8 in the bowl game.
I don't care about the bowl game because it's just irrelevant.
Yeah, they are more and more these days.
It's a good time to get your younger players some more experience and some legitimate snaps and treat it like it's better than a spring game. It's better than fall camp. But in the overall picture, it's meaningless.
Yeah.
To me, that's the way I feel with the current college landscape.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching the playoffs and getting focused on those teams.
Yeah.
Excited about that stuff versus some
Well, there you have it. We still right now we're projecting 7 wins. Hopefully they go and beat Indiana here in a couple weeks, and we can change our.
And last year we had how many wins?
5.
So it's 2 more than last year.
Yeah.
See, we got to get the 8, man. I'll feel much better if we get the 8.
There's a path. There's certainly a path.
I feel
to
much
8.
better if we get the 8.
Yeah.
I do. I just feel much better about everything.
Well, fair enough. Hopefully we'll feel better next week. Of course, there's a bye week this week, so we'll have a whole show leading up to the Indiana game next Wednesday. That'll wrap it up for weekly wrap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. Thank you, Steve, for coming in again. And Locker Room coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.